Hello, crafting buddies. I'm back. Yay. Let me introduce myself. It's Lori, Late Night Lori from Lori's Little Bit of Crafting. I am an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in the United States, coming to you at 11:59 a.m. on Tuesday, January 6th. It's live day, so I'm back. Let me just get my devices set up. Hopefully we've got some volume. I didn't restart my phone. It's working. We have sound. Yay. Let me get my computer set up. Yay. Let me get my computer. All right. We are in business. Let me find a little comment here. And we'll get started. So, welcome. There is a lot going on today. Lots and lots going on. And let's see about moving the lights just a little bit. See if we can get that glare taken off my table here. So we're elongated. Don't know why. My phone's not plugged in. I'm not using my Bluetooth microphone. It's just YouTube being YouTube. So I've been gone since Friday. Hopefully you missed hanging out here. I missed hanging out here. I had to go to Arizona for an unfortunate family event, but I'm back and it's all good, and we've got lots of things going on. I'm just gonna shift my mat here just a little bit and fix things up just a little bit here maybe. I think we're good. I don't want to play around with it too much. We might lose something. So, plane treats that I almost didn't get because I fell asleep. They don't wake you up when you fall asleep on a plane. Gives new meaning to you snooze, you lose. So, let's go through a couple of quick announcements. And then we're going to go through the new catalog. Woohoo! Who's got theirs? Who's ordered from theirs? Today started a whole bunch of stuff. So, as a reminder, if you are a demonstrator or want to be a demonstrator, do it by January 16th if you want to come to our conference. On Stage is an awesome event for demonstrators only. Hello, Yuda. Welcome. Vicky, welcome. I thought about you today because one of the new kits is all butterflies. So anyway, January 16th, we need to get registered. I will be there. The U.S. Location is Long Beach, California. It's going to be a blast. And that happens in March. All right. We also have this online card retreat. It is likely getting a little late to get this ordered and have all of your things in time for the virtual retreat, but you will have access. It's on-demand access. So you can participate the day of the event, maybe using stuff that you already have. Order the retreat. You'll have all the cutting instructions. You'll have the supplemental supply list. You'll have the 2 days of master classes, basically. And then when your kit comes, you can go through it all again. But with the live event, Stampin' Up! Is going to download those live events. They're going to upload them back to Facebook. So we will have on-demand access into perpetuity, apparently. So I'm looking forward to that. Anybody who's local to me, get your kit. Let me know you've gotten your kit. We'll have a watch party. I know for us, it's going to be like 10 o'clock at night. Doesn't mean you have to stay the whole time. But I will have the studio open for these 2 days if I know somebody's coming. So if you're local and you plan on coming, you need to let me know so that I can have my door open and the sign out. Product of the month. We have a new product of the month. So last month, remember, it was that Hues of Blue designer series paper. And I don't even know if there's any of it left. I don't know if there's any left. Sorry, I turned around. And I don't have my portable mic on. But this was the product of the month last month. And how this works is if you make a qualifying purchase, $75 or more before tax and shipping, you can add the product of the month for just $5. All right, $5 is a pretty good deal for like a full pack of designer series paper. And this paper was really fun to work with. This month, it is a stamp set called Fabulous Sayings. Let me try to zoom this in a little bit. Maybe. There we go. So you can see some of these sentiments. I ordered mine early this morning since I didn't get home until a little before 1:30 a.m. I had a late flight. So I got home around 1:30 a.m. I thought about coming on live, but I didn't have any of my stuff together, and I figured nobody was expecting me. And it would have been kind of late for my normal lateness anyway. So I went ahead and I ordered a few things. I got my product of the month. So we've got happy birthday. You're on my mind. Thank you. Sending love. Hello. You can do anything. Part of that is in block letters and part of that is in this cool script. I love that font so much. So like, thank you so much. I'm not sure what else that so much would go with, but I think thank you so much would work. Hooray to a fabulous friend, just because, and there are simply no words for this. So that's going to be fun when I get mine. I will share it with you and we will create with it as well. All right. And then we have bonus days. Bonus days for those of you who are new. Stampin' Up! Runs this from time to time. And this time it's going to be from January 6th until February 2nd. And how it works is with every $50 purchase, you get a coupon code emailed to you. So make sure you have an account, a customer account or a demonstrator account set up. For every $50 you purchase, you will be emailed a coupon code good for $5 off a future purchase. They will expire February 28th. The redemption period is from February 3rd to February 28th. So it's kind of like, Kohl's Cash. You get it and you have to go back within a couple of days and use it or you lose it. You actually have several weeks to use this, so it's nice. But if you order in the United States, $50 worth, you'll get $5 back. If you order 100, you'll get $10. 150, you'll get 15. There's no limit to the number of coupons you can earn. Okay? So that's a fun thing. Let's see. Yeah, save your emails. Or write down, print them off or something. I like to save my emails because then I just cut and paste the codes because they're really long. They're really long codes. So you can copy and paste it. And then when you go into your order, there'll be a place to put your coupon codes. You may or may not have seen that in the ordering platform already, but you just put your coupon codes in there and it'll deduct that amount from your order. The other nice thing about this with bonus days, you still earn your Stampin' Rewards. So any purchase over $20, you're still getting 10% back anyway, because that's what Stampin' Rewards are. And if you're a demonstrator or a kidnapper or hobby demo or a community coach or a business builder or whatever it is you want to call yourself, if you've joined, you still get your discount too. So bonus days. Let me know if you've got questions on that. Kits released today. We have 3 new kits in January. So once a quarter, there's 3 kits instead of just 2. So I'm going to zoom these in a little bit again. So hopefully you can see this a little bit better. This is an Adopt a Pet kit. This would be great for young kids. The older the child, of course, the less help they'll need. My granddaughter, who's 8, will likely be able to do this all by herself. You get 4 of them. There's a dog, a parrot or a parakeet. I don't know if it even says what the animals are, but there's a cat and then a guinea pig. And then they come with their little like rescue cage, that they're the dog house or the rescue cage. And then they get an adoption certificate too. And it comes in different languages. So I'm thinking German, Dutch, French, maybe. This is a non-stamping kit. So basically it's a little bit of adhesive, probably comes with tear and tape. And the kids put it together and it's only $15 because it's a non-stamping kit. All right. This next one, Vicki, this is the one that I thought of you right away, is the Butterfly Garden Kit. And this, hey, how are you, Juju? This is the Butterfly Garden Kit. So this will make 9 cards. So you get to do 3 of each. And each one of those is butterflies. Butterflies for the envelopes. So this will be a stamping kit. Good to hear. Or good to read, whatever the case may be. Macman might be watching. I'm not sure. He said goodnight just a few minutes ago, so he's probably still awake. So this is a stamping kit. You can tell when the price is less, like $14, $15. Usually those are non-stamping kits. So this is $24. But like I said, it'll make 9 cards. You'll have 3 of each design. And then the last one is this Lots to Love kit. This is $15. So this is a non-stamping kit as well. And it also makes 9 cards. So 3 of each. So if you're one of those people who maybe just gets together with a few friends, or you've got a couple of people who are interested but have never stamped before, this would be a good one to break up and let's say you wanted to get together with just a couple of friends they've never crafted before. They could each make one of these cards and go on their way and probably have had a really good time. I sometimes will take these kits to my senior group. Yeah, Yuta, they do. They look like really fun kits. I ordered all 3 of them. I usually order at least one of the kits each so that I can try them out and see, maybe how, sometimes there's more steps to them. Sometimes it's easier for me to think of alternatives that we can make. But either way, these are fun just to do on your own. Like this one will be really fun for my granddaughter to do. But I will probably end up doing something like that. Well, both of these would probably be good for the groups that I have, or my coffee and a card that I do once a month at the coffee house. And then if you are a Paper Pumpkin subscriber, you might want to consider these add-on dies. And I got mine. These are the beautiful blooms. And I'm going to go ahead and open this so you might be able to get a little better look at the real thing. And I'm just going to slice my package because that's what works out good for me. Now, I ordered an extra set. And I'm going to go ahead and cut this apart. Hello, Susan. Welcome. Thanks for joining me. I feel like I'm really nasally tonight. Oh my goodness, you are hot, Susan. Phew, zoom out. Okay. You are really hot there. We were 36, a little above freezing for us. Let me get a piece of cardstock. I want to show you what these look like. Run through the machine. Because this says beautiful, and it is really beautiful, and I want to point out just a couple of things with these. Ooh. All right, Retro Queen. I'm like, who's Queen? But that's Vicki. I wasn't thinking Retro Queen Bee art. So anyway, I feel like I'm kind of nasally, but when I got down to Arizona, my sinuses were just a mess. they have, it's like fall there for them. And whew, there was flowers and green stuff and yeah, lots of pollen, so I'm feeling it. I took some Alavert because that usually helps, and it got better, but now I'm home and I feel like I'm still recovering from that. I haven't even been home 24 hours, so there's that. All right, so let's just pop these things. I'm going to put that on a diagonal so it goes through the machine a little bit easier. I need to zoom out, sorry. There we go. Sorry, I thought I had gone out a little bit more. All right, so I love the rectangle on here because it's got that postage stamp look, right? And then, let me just get this out of the way, and I'll show you some of the things with these dies. So this is an add-on, a quarterly add-on that Stampin' Up! Offers for Paper Pumpkin subscribers. And it coordinates with a quarter's worth of Paper Pumpkin kits. So January, February, March, there is going to be an element in each of the kits that will coordinate with this set. And I should probably have done this in color, but we're just going to have bluish tulips. So you can see these two pieces were cut out of that die. We've got this out of this one. Here is our postage stamp, and then here is our beautiful. And I'm going to show you something fun here, because if you take out these little pieces here, normally we have to watch out for the dot on the eye. Well, we don't this time, because this little piece here, hopefully you can see it. I'll zoom in again a little bit so you can see better. This little piece here, it looks like a little puzzle piece. It attaches the dot to the I to the T and the F so that we don't have another piece to attach. So let me just put that up on here. See how pretty that is? Isn't that cute? So that is really pretty. So I saw a little sneak peek of the January and February Paper Pumpkin kits today from Elizabeth Belleville from the home office, and quite honestly, I don't remember what they were. But anyway, this is really cute because you get that postage stamp look. Here's our beautiful. And then with the tulips here, we of course get, I know someone was really smart, probably because we all complain about losing that little dot. And usually it's too small to use an embellishment for. So here's the stem. Now with this tulip, you could just use it like this, but it's really designed to use it like this and to give your tulip some depth. Okay. You could put it behind and kind of curve this out. So it's kind of like your choice. So you could put it behind. I kind of like it in front because when I see tulips in my yard, I usually see, you know, the layers of the petals. So done in different colors, that's going to be gorgeous. All right. So let's put this off to the side. So this is only for Paper Pumpkin subscribers. I'll zoom back out again. It's only for Paper Pumpkin subscribers. So if you're not a subscriber, subscribe before the 10th, and you too can get the dies. Now the dies will stay around until they're gone. And, you know, Stampin' Up! Tries to estimate how many people are going to be interested. I know when they were first releasing these dies, they ran out that first quarter. So that little dot is called a tittle. Great, Susan. We got butt paper and tittles. Great. That's funny. I love it. Thanks for sharing that. All right, so let me get my little dies back on here. Oh, and just so you know, I know because everybody's been really worried about it, I found the missing die to my Nature Symphony dies. I was so excited, and it was buried on here. So it hadn't gone far, but it was slightly gone. All right, so let's just see. I think these will go here like this, and then beautiful can go on the side. That ought to work. And then I like to put mine right back in the sleeve, but then I fold it, and then I can just slide it out the side of my package because that's how I roll. So that'll just slide out there if I want it to. All right, and then I will label this as 2026 Paper Pumpkin, January, February, March or something. Paper Pumpkin, October, November, December, and then I put the year on it. So I'm kind of collecting these. Yeah, it's a thing. So I have 2 of these because I thought they would be so fun. I ordered a second set, and I'm going to figure out a giveaway to give away 1 set of these, and it's probably going to be something related to a new subscriber for Paper Pumpkin. So if you're one of my customers and you're not a subscriber yet, subscribe. You might win some dies. All right. Who wants to look through the catalog? Or should we just skip it? I've been waiting for like a month to show all of the fun things in the catalog. And then we can see what I have, depending on how long we go and how much energy folks have. I have an idea in mind for our sheep. Our woolly friends. So we can see. Let's start paging through this a little bit. So the nice thing about these catalogs is if you're not familiar with them, there are some highlights, you know, the Statement of the Heart for Stampin' Up. And that's kind of built into everything we do. To love what we do and share what we love as we help others enjoy creativity and worthwhile accomplishments. In this, we make a difference. Hopefully, some of this makes a difference in your life, whether it's giving you ideas to send out cards or crafts, or uplifting somebody's day, or just having the stress release of being in your happy place. Journaling, junk journaling, if you're showing it into there. Oh, Susan, thank you. I'm glad you want to see it. And then there's also, you know, some little story things. All right. And look at this. If you haven't looked at this, this is Sarah Douglas when she was young, and this is Sarah Douglas, well, younger. Not that she's old. But this is Sarah Douglas now. So what a difference, hey? But memory keeping has changed so much from her childhood. So the table of contents. As we go through here, it will show like our step-by-step items. So these are the choreographed things. So these are your kits, whether they're card kits, those pet rescue kits. Paper pumpkin kits are generally not in here. And our scrapbooking workshop kits are in here as well. So those are the things that are all planned for you. All right. Quick and easy options are on pages 14 to 21. Those are your memories and more cards, mix and match things. You'll have some templates for some of the layouts and that sort of thing. And then from pages 22 to 69, it's listed as Creativity Your Way. So those are where the suites are, the bundles are, scrapbooking ideas when you want to lay it out and do it from start to finish on your own. And then just the things in the back, the index and the joining offer. What a fun idea that is. All right. Okay, here's a memory making challenge. I have to admit, I didn't read through all of this stuff. But there's some fun things to look at here. So here we're looking at our step-by-step kits. All right. Ooh, the baby book. I did get that baby book. I started putting it together for the brand new baby that we added to our family. And Mama was pretty excited that I was making that book for her, for the baby. And then we've got this scrapbooking workshop. I did not originally order this. I ordered it now though. So I'm pretty sure I ordered it this morning. It was all kind of a blur. I think I've ordered it. Okay. So this will come with all of your instructions. It comes with all of the supplies you need for 3 layouts. It has probably stickers. Yes. Stickers and pre-cut images. You've got the White Willow cardstock, the photo placeholders, they give you those. And then there's also a list of other things that you might need, like your stamp and seal. You need to have your own adhesive because the scrapbooking kits do not come with adhesive. They don't come with your dimensionals. They don't come with the paper trimmer, so some of these things you'll need to trim out. It'll come with sheets of DSP. It'll come with your sheets of your White Willow for your background, your bases. All right, so you can see here where it comes with the 2-tone cardstock, comes with the designer series paper, it comes with the sticker sheets, and some of these specialty ephemera pieces. I think that's pretty much it. All right, so scrapbooking fun kits are, I find, pretty fun because you can do your own thing with them even though you've got the layouts. All right, here's another one. So this is Exploring Nature. I believe I ordered this one as well. So let's just go back a second. For those of you who scrapbook, this one is $37. So 3 2-page spreads, when you think about it, when you've got all of the elements that you need, 37 divided by 3 is not, if you had to go out and buy all of the separate packs of colors and everything, these scrapbooking kits are a pretty good deal. This one I kind of liked the colors on, and since we will be doing, my husband and I are going to take an Alaskan cruise later this year, and I thought this would be fun to have ready to go to memorialize that trip because it just looks kind of Alaska-ish to me. What do you think? And do I need to zoom in at all? Or are we good with how far we are? And then Beach Time. Oh, I did not order this one. I don't think. But I do have some of the elements from it. So I've got the paper. I might have ordered the sticker sheet. And I've got a bunch of the 2-tone cardstock. So I can recreate some of these with things I have. And hang on to your catalogs because they have good layouts and good ideas too. And this one is 36. What did I say that one was? 36. Okay. And then your quick and easy options. Now we did some things with these cards. Remember, these are the mix and match cards. They're called Days Like This. Oh, they're Memories and More card pack. And you can see over on this side of the page where they all are. But they give you all kinds of elements. And a lot of times I will cut these down to be things that I want them to be. So we've got, like here, we cut it down and fussy cut just to have those flowers with our woolly friends, remember? So we've got some of these butterfly cards. Vicki, again, I thought of you, with some garden green on the background, some grids, more butterflies with a sentiment on there, all good things. And then we've got a yellow kind of grid kind of like design. More butterflies for Vicki. Lots of laughter. I love that. So you could do these for cards or for scrapbooking. It's pretty versatile, just whatever you, come on, you know, whatever trips your trigger, I guess. And even for like samplers or 3D items, these would be really good for that because I'm looking at a sampler that's on my wall. So when I say a sampler, you could change up some of your measurements and put some of these and add you know, even pictures or other elements to make your own little home decor item. So it doesn't have to be cards. It doesn't have to be scrapbooking stuff. It can be just a variety of things, depending on how crafty you are. You're journaling. And that happens to be a 12 by 12 frame, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, that's a 12 by 12 frame. I usually get those when there's like a buy one, get one sale, because otherwise they can get pretty expensive. But I'll do classes for those too, where I'll do the layout and I'll get all the stuff prepped and then offer a class. All right, so, oh, look at those. That's Calypso Coral and white, almost like you embossed it and did like a resist on that. And then more butterflies that on the back side, days like this, so you can journal if you're going to put that in scrapbooking. And then these bigger, so these are 2 by 3 or 3 by 4. These are 3 by 4, and then these are 4 by 6. And we did use some of these, but I think I still have one of everything. So this one, again, I fussy cut around here for that one with the woolly friends, and then we've got this extra sky piece left over. But then on the back, there's just some grids. And then we've got butterflies. Filled with happiness. Now this, if you cut it down just a little bit, because it's 4 by 6, if you just cut like a 1/4 inch off each side, you'd have a really, really easy card front, right? And then you could even take maybe a butterfly from another piece and fussy cut it to put it on there as another element. This is kind of a journaling piece, but you could also cut this off and have part of a layer. And that's it. So these Memory and More packs are pretty versatile. So you can do a lot of different things with those. And then again, using the catalog to create some ideas for your cards is a good way to start if you're having, like me, if I get kind of like, oh, I don't know what I should make. A lot of times I would start with something that's in the catalog and then I just kind of build off of it. All right, these are some more mix and match ones. I do not have these, but this is an ephemera pack. So these will be laser cut pieces with different sentiments. So those look really fun, actually. That would be nice elements in a journal or scrapbooking. And then this one also has some puffy stickers. And those are birds and flowers and butterflies. So there's 2 sheets of one design. So they're 5 by 7. It doesn't say here how many puffy stickers are in the pack though. 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20, maybe like 50-ish. I don't know. All right. And then we have on page 17 of your catalogs. All right, Yuta, thanks for popping in. Plug in your battery. Plug in your phone. Page 17 here is where we've got some of these templates. And this you can use for whether you want tags or you want to create them as cards or layouts. These layouts could also become card ideas. These card layouts could become scrapbooking ideas. The tags could become card ideas as well. So it's just ideas on how to lay things out. And each of the catalogs, excuse me, each of the catalogs for the last, I don't know, the last couple of annual catalogs had these templates or sketches in there, and I think it's really helpful. All right, so we did this Love Notes paper because I've got that. So we worked with this already. You can see we've got some things cut up. I'm not going to go through and show every single sheet unless you want me to, because these ones that are open, I know I've shown already. So we could go back and just look over the last few weeks and you'll see them. If there's a pack that you want me to go through and show you everything, put a comment in there and I will. This is the Love Notes 6x6 designer series paper. Excuse me. So that one is opened. So I know we created with it. So I'm not going to waste your time and show all of those. It does have some cute little like 2x2, 3x3, 3x3s, where one side they've got words and one side they don't. So those are pretty versatile, I think, for cards or scrapbooks or journals, you know. But this is showing a fun idea with some treat bags. Just making like a tag on there with those pieces of designer series paper. Oh, and this twine. I got this twine. I hadn't originally ordered it. And then I started seeing stuff that needed the twine. I thought, okay, well, I guess I need that too. So this is just a nice, this would have been good for Christmas. If I would have gotten it earlier, I could have used it for Christmas projects too. But that's a nice twine. And what I usually do with mine, and you've likely seen me do this before, we can cut a little slit or a notch out of here. And then I like to leave it in the bag and just pull it out of that little hole or notch. And that way it doesn't go rolling all over my table usually, because I can just leave it in the bag and pull it out. Okay. When you have multiple rolls in your bag, it does make it more challenging because depending on the direction of your rolls, they can roll onto each other. So just beware when you do that. All right. Let's keep going here. Reason to celebrate. I do not have this yet. I don't think I have this. I couldn't get everything. No, I do not have that. But it's got some fun things on there. You know, it's got some of the scripted, a casually scripted font. So, what a party, New Year, anniversary, special day, Valentine's Day, St. Patrick's Day. Some fun ideas. And then there's clearly another stamp set or an ephemera pack that has that, like, New Year's Eve ball, like that. Here we've got another one for a welcome baby. And again, some really cute ideas for the cards. I don't know that I care for that card so much, but in the color I like it. And what it's suggesting here is to arrange all your stamps on one block and then stamp it all at once, or individually color them and stamp it on. So they're all in one place. That's a good idea. Here's a nice couple of big fonts that are just sentiments on there with no images. Oh, we played with this one. We'll get to that in a minute, huh? So this is Lovely and Beautiful. I think I might need to order that one because I really like that flower with the multiple layers. It gives it a really nice dimension. It gives it some texture, because if you do those all in different colors or do some ink blending on them or use your designer series paper, you can make it look very authentic, I think, with the colors. Now, this is a die set that I saw earlier today. I don't know. It must have been on some Stampin' Up! Preview. And I didn't realize there were those nested dies. That looks kind of cool. So this is all part of this suite. So this Lovely and Beautiful suite. So there's the bundles. So this is almost like a mega suite because it's got two bundles. You've got the bundle with the floral, and then you've got the bundle that has the like the sentiment or the focal piece. These are faceted gems. I think we have those. I think these are the same ones, number 6. Pearlized faceted circles. So these come in the different shades of pinks and almost like a white or a clear. They're kind of iridescent. So hopefully you can see some of that shimmer, but these are going to be, they're thicker. So when you put them in a card, if you're going to mail them anywhere, you need to make sure that you put either a cover sheet over your card. Sometimes I will use packing tape. So if I put in my card in the envelope, like so, I will put a cover piece in here and slide it in with that to protect them from popping out of my envelope. If they poke holes in your envelope, a lot of times you can lose your gems. So you'll want to be careful with that. The other thing that I do sometimes as well is I will just use shipping tape and put a layer on the back of my envelope. And that is pretty good at protecting the gems as well. Let's see if we can get this back in here. These florals on this designer series paper didn't catch my eye initially. I wasn't really thrilled with them, but these are some big, bold flowers on here, and they looked really stunning. I think Sarah Douglas today, that's where I saw it, this afternoon. Tuesday, she usually does a live and goes through some of the new products or makes a project. She was showing this paper, and these large floral pieces were really quite pretty, but I also like the more petite designs on the backs. And you can get a pretty good look at them by looking at the bigger image rather than just the smaller ones. I do not have that paper yet, so I can't show you. I don't think I have that paper. Lovely and beautiful. I'm pretty sure I don't have that. Oh my goodness. I do have it. What do you know? I haven't opened it yet. Guess what I need to do? Let's open this. I did not think I had it, but since I didn't open it yet, that's why I didn't realize that I have these big prints. Now again, these are ones that I like to open up the side of my package so that I can just take the designer series paper right out the side, and then I don't have to fight with my packaging, because that is frustrating to me when I can't get it open, or when there's the adhesive on here and it sticks to my paper as I'm trying to slide stuff in and out. So for me, since I'm left-handed, I just slice the side of my bag, and then I can slide it in and out pretty easily. So the colors on here are Calypso Coral, Darling Duckling, Fresh Freesia, Old Olive, Peach Pie, Petal Pink, and Gold. All right. So look at those. So you've got the gold metallic on here, and this is a normal thickness. Now I showed you some of that designer series paper the other day, and it was almost like cardstock with how thick it was. And I found out the reason today is because the type of metallic, either imprinting or whatever that process is, it was done in multiple colors. So in order to do the layering for those colors, they had to make it on thicker paper. But look at that. Isn't that stunning? It's much, to me, it's much prettier in person than it is in the catalog. And this is our Old Olive. And then this has all of the centers of the flowers. It almost looks like a champagne, but it's gold because that's the only metallic color that was noted there. And then we've got our fresh freesia. These are just little flowers on here, but look at that. To me, I think that this would make either a nice border for some scrapbooking or a journal, or even if you cut out and made a frame or put a smaller, you know, just a cardstock piece in there, you could have this really as a focal piece. I think maybe on a sampler, it might be a little bit busy, like that bee sampler that I showed you before, but that is really quite pretty. And I like this one too with the Calypso Coral, or is that Peach Pie? Is that in there? Yeah, Peach Pie is in there too, so that might be Peach Pie. Oh, this will be very pretty using some ink blending or alcohol markers. I think that would be quite pretty, because then like if you do ink blending with this with blending brushes, as you go over the gold, just take a tissue and just buff once you're done, and then your gold metallic will get all shiny again. That's quite pretty. Here's the Calypso Coral. That's quite pretty. This is pretty bold too. I'm not sure what I think about this one, because that's more abstract than I think I use, but we'll have to make something out of it just to say we did. That's pretty. I love the colors though, and the bold images. And this has got to be Peach Pie also, and it's almost like it's textured because there's some places that distressed, almost like it's distressed. And look at that, that's really pretty too. And again, the insides of those flowers are the ones that have the gold metallic. Very pretty. All right, so there's that one, lovely and beautiful. Quite pretty. And last time I did this, last time I did this, I didn't put all of my papers back in the packages right away, and then I ended up having a mess. So I'm going to try to keep them a little better in order today. All right, so those are actually quite pretty. Prettier than I expected. But now look at this. Here's a card using one of the very big images on there. And it looks like they embossed on there as well. So if you got, you know, the stamp set, you would be able to stamp on there and then emboss. Very pretty. Oh, and look at what they did with those dies to make like a frame. That's quite pretty. Oh, so I noticed these little corner pieces on here, but I wasn't really paying attention. So one die cuts out multiple images. So this must be a single die that cuts out two. And that's what they use to make these corner pieces. Kind of for more of a retro look, I think. Remember when we used to keep photo albums and they had those little black corners, and that's where you tucked your pictures under and they stuck onto the pages in the photo albums? That's what that reminds me of. And there's that die. So you've got a single die that cuts out the two corners. That's efficient. And here is an ephemera pack. So when we look at this suite, I totally bypassed that ephemera pack. So that's beautifully adorned ephemera pack. So this is a very heavy vellum, and the gold is on the vellum. So you get 3 designs. There's 2 sheets of each, and those are 5 by 7 sheets. All right, so you get 6 sheets, 2, 2, and 2. And all of the images on there are pre-cut, so you don't have to worry about die cutting them, all right? So that's the nice thing about the ephemera packs, is that those are cut out. So I noticed here that there's one of the frames on here, and they took some of those pieces apart to add those elements to that memory page. Very fun. And then this just gives us a closer image of those. There's some tags in there, foliage, almost like a wax seal sort of thing. Some flourishes, the flowers, of course, and then those frame pieces. But this is the one that I said I might have to get because all of these layers on here and then with the centerpieces, it just, to me, that looks really pretty. And that would be a good use of that big, bold background paper that I wasn't sure what to do with. And this looks like it might be embossed on vellum. Very pretty. And I'm looking at this ribbon here. I don't have that. I don't think I have that. Sometimes I lose track of what I have. I do not have that. That looks like almost like a thick woven or a jute kind of ribbon. Very pretty. All right. So here is a whole suite for Valentine's Day or anniversaries or honey, I love you, or honey, I messed up, forgive me. Whatever you want to do to do a special card. Now I know it's pretty much, this is the season for Valentine's Day. So let's pull these things out. I did get this stamp and die bundle today because I hadn't ordered it. And the fun thing about this, I don't know if you recognize that font, but it matches with the mini alphabet font. So this is bigger than these, but you could use these letters to coordinate with the whole vibe of the suite, you know? So let's take a look at these dies, because here's where we saw on that inside page here, that heart there with those hearts cut out. And it almost, you could put a layer behind there too to make that a different color. Let's take a look. All right, so that's an inset piece. So you could do this just on a piece of cardstock and have some hearts in there. I don't, well, like this one, we'll cut those out for that tag. But this you could almost do like a 2-for-1 card. So if you cut some hearts out and made a design and then took those hearts and put them on another card, that would be fun. But this will fit on this tagged heart. It'll fit on that smaller heart, and it'll fit on this dotted heart. And then this one looks cool. Let me peel that off of there, maybe. So I see that looks like it's stamped. So you're going to get some texture images out of those stamps. But what did they do with this one? It cuts like that. I think I'm going to cut this out in a piece of red. I just want to see what that looks like cut out. All right, so this is one where you could actually do some paper piecing if you felt so inclined, or you could make like a bleeding heart. That reminds me almost like a CPR kind of thing. So that was out of there, and all of these pieces kind of like fell out, but isn't that stunning? That is pretty fun. So that would fit pretty well in there. It's too big for that one. It could fit on there if you were gonna like layer it for a tag, but it would fit really well in there. So I like how that cuts out. We'll put that back there. And then you've got some X's and XO's. That's fun because they give, sometimes they'll give us multiples of these smaller ones that we'll use more of. And here we've got some of those arrows to go through the heart, and this will cut out 2 of them. This one's a little bit bigger. That's quite fun. We might have to play with that this week, huh? You'll have to let me know which ones that I have. Whoops, don't want to lose that. Which ones of these that I have that you want to play with. All right, so this also comes with an embossing folder. You know I have that. So we've got the embossing folder, and this is a 3D embossing folder, so when you use it on your Stampin' Up, your cut and emboss machine, you'll use, what did you finish, Juju? What were you working on? So this is a 3D one, so you will just use your base plate and then plate number 4, that gray one, to get a good image on there. Sometimes when you do use the 3D embossing folders, cleaning off your desk projects, good for you, congratulations. You want to come visit? Sometimes when you're using, like, even on vellum, this would be fun to do on vellum. If you spritz your paper first, it can help break down those fibers so that your paper doesn't crack. Okay? Oh, yeah. We did some projects already with, I think we did we make a shaker card or did we just glue some of these on? I don't remember. You don't want to come to Wisconsin? Should I be hurt? All right, so these are cute. There's all kinds of little hearts and envelopes that have little hearts on them. I thought those little envelopes were adorable. Can you see those? But I know we glued some of those on a card. I could try to pull out some of those cards that we played with, but that would take too long. And then we've got these gusseted bags, and then the designer series paper. And we've looked at this designer series paper before, so I don't know that we really want to go through all of the different designs, but they're you know, Valentine's Day-ish. So this is your reds and pinks. Well, it's going to be in the 40s tomorrow. But yeah, it does get pretty cold. All right, so I want to show you these gusseted bags because you get, let's see, oh, there's 16 in a package. Seriously? There are 16 in a package. I could make treats for everybody in my granddaughter's classroom. So, when you open these, look at those gussets. So I think this is real red. Yep, real red. They are food safe. And then when you fold them down, you can fold them down however far you need to, but these have the wire in them, so they'll seal it shut for you. So this is a back, so the seam is on the back, but this would be very fun to put some cute little tags on. You know, even like here, I was going to say even like this. Well, that's because I've got it on one of these gusseted bags to put treats in. But these are, does it give the measurements on here? 4 by 6, basically. When it's folded down, that looks like a lot more than 6 inches. Let's see how long this really is. So this is actually 10 inches. So 4 by 10. So they're probably saying if you fold it down enough, you'd have like 6 inches. But you could put a bunch of different things in here. Pencils would probably fit in here if you wanted to do some fun pencils, because they're longer than a number 2 pencil. So, but I thought these were great. I don't think the picture in the catalog shows them quite as cute as what they are when you take them out of the package. I mean, they show you a little bit here. You can see the sneak peek of some of that red in the gusset, but I think seeing them in person shows a lot more. And that coordinates with these, right? Because any of these would also work well with that designer series paper. Just a thought. They weren't designed necessarily to go together, but a lot of times these products are just so good at coordinating. Oh, and there's pink ribbon too. We worked with this pink ribbon one night when we were working with the Woolly Friends, I think. But this is just your 1/8 inch thick or 1/8 inch wide. Is this pretty in pink? Bubble bath. So that's really easy to tie. So that's very fun. Look at some of these cute ideas. Some of that designer series paper or even the gusseted bag. Oh, that's something I could show you too. You can turn these bags into flat bottomed bags. So even though they're designed to just kind of be angled down there, you can turn them into flat bottom bags. So if you pop out the sides and fold it down. I do these with my sourdough bags. And it works better, I guess, if I don't have my hand in the middle. All right. So if you flatten out and make a triangle, you want to try to get those to line up. And if you fold this one out too, I'm not doing a very good job at showing you. But when you flatten those corners out, just keep the lines for that center filled up, lined up rather. So this is actually lined up there. And then what I'll do too is, when I have them folded over like this, I'll kind of fold up the bottom. Hello, Rosa Vera from Northern California. Welcome. I just noticed you got here. Sorry if you've been hanging out for a while. All right. So it looks kind of sloppy, but watch. Now you've created a flat bottom gusseted bag. All right. So if I would have been a little bit more careful, if I would have used like my bone folder to burnish that. Rosa, I think you've been here before, haven't you? But not for a while. Your name looks kind of familiar. But welcome back. So you could easily make this into something that is more of a squared off rectangle piece instead of having it just like that. Okay. Now it could be easier to fold it up 3/4 of an inch first and then burnish on both sides and then try to flatten out those corners. But it's just whatever works for you. Okay. So that's a way to make a flat bottom box. So we're just walking through the catalog. So this will be fun. This would be something that we could use the mini alphabet dies. Oh, and see, I hadn't even been looking at that it coordinates. I just saw right away from here that was the same. Very fun. But that's a very cute tag for that. And two, it's showing here that they cut off the top of the bag and did some ink blending. You could also cut off the bottom of the bag and just cut it to make a box bottom as well. There's a couple things we could do here, so we'll have to play with that, but a little bit of ink blending on the bottom of the bag and you change the whole look of the bag. Oh, this is a fun idea too. Using the, oh, how did I do that? My staple came out of my catalog. Putting some ink on our embossing folder and then creating that design with the embossing folder. Ooh, we'll have to do that. That'll be fun. All right, so we played with this paper the other day and with this ribbon. This is 1/4 inch balmy blue. Makes a really nice little bow. And as long as you're going with a darker color, you could use alcohol blends to color this any color you wanted. If you go too dark, you will lose the kind of the gingham check design. If you go lighter, like a yellow or a pink or a light blue, you'll still see that gingham check design on there. Now, I did not order the stamp set and the dies. And, oh, I did not order those. There are 100 adhesive backed pieces, lemon lolly, balmy blue, and pretty in pink. That's a little Easter egg. And then those look like those little dots candies, but they look like they're flat. I might need to order those. And I might need to order this bundle too. It's pretty cute. And part of it is with the dies, it gives you, if you can see this, I'll zoom in a little bit here. Here, it's got slits in here. And then there's actually a die that's going to cut out all kinds of little strips so that you can make this woven basket. How cute is that? And that would take so little effort because those dies are going to cut out everything you need. We can be laser stampers if we wanted. Lazy crafters. Yeah, I might have to rethink this. That might have to go on another order. But, you know, it's bonus days, so there's that. Oh, and then this one is done with some of the designer series paper that has the woven print on it. And then they still wove in the strips. So that could be pretty fun. Now, all of these just show like 3 strips in there, but I'm thinking you could weave it in with more. Kind of like we struggled with that one card one time. These are really cute images. You're right, Rosa. And we do have 3 little babies now in the family. Young ones, 2 and under. That would be cute to make cards for them out of that. But even the way they have these colored, they're so cute. So that might have to go on my next order. And then here's a nice example too of how the catalog can help you come up with ideas. Because they took 2 of these baskets, did the weaving. You can either make a little box to go inside, or even just make a bottom with some small sides that you can glue on each side and just put some treats inside. So if I do get this set, we're going to have to make that little basket to put some treats inside. And there's even the dies to cut out the grass to put in there. Yep, I think that's going to have to go on my list, on my shopping list. So with this paper, remember, we used this just the other night. Now, I know I've been gone for a few nights, so it's been a few nights. But this is the paper that I told you has the various colors of the metallic or the shimmery paper. Now, there's actually 2 papers. So there's the specialty, the Pleasant Patterns, which I think is this one. Nope, this is the Easter Joy. So there's Easter Joy and the Pleasant Patterns. So this is the Easter Joy and this is the Pleasant Patterns. All right. So this one we have just the 3 designs. These are all one-sided, but you can see how much glam you get out of that, right? And this is heavier paper. So if we take this out, you can hear that's pretty heavy. And it's only printed on the one side because with the heavy metallic paper like that, they have to use heavier paper to get that process to work. And then these are the ones where the colors, the specialty part of the paper where it's metallic is multicolored. So let's just take this piece out because it's a little bit bigger. So you can see where we've got the Timid Tiger is metallic. We've got the Shy Shamrock that's metallic on that one. So you've got 2 different colors on here, it looks like. I think that's just the 2 colors. Oh, this might be, these polka dots might be metallic as well. What color is that? Pecan pie, crumb cake. All right. Now remember too that I tried to use my alcohol blends on this and I didn't like how the images ended up. And that was even with the bullet points. So using the one piece that's got the monochromatic, coloring it didn't work for me. It might work for somebody else who has a steadier hand or something, but so these are cute. So the stripes are the same way. So we've got the Shy Shamrock, the crumb cake that's metallic. So it's just the 2 stripes on there that have the different color. I showed you that one already. Oh no, I didn't show that one, but that was on the front. So this one we've got the Timid Tiger and the Shy Shamrock, it looks like. This also has the pages that have the like the postcard size, the 4x6s, and those have metallic images right into there too. So this one has a Shy Shamrock as part of the water. This has the flower and the polka dots. This one has the Shy Shamrock and the grass again. This one has a little bit of the pretty in pink, if that's what it is, in the clouds. So this is fun paper. Those will make some cute card fronts. And then we've got these as well. So it's the same process through all of them. Now these are much heavier. You can maybe hear that a little bit different, but these actually, the way they did it, they were able to get 2-sided imagery. So one side is going to be the matte finish, which I think this is adorable. And then one side will have those metallic elements on there. All right, so that's a pretty fun suite of products. So if I get this, we'll have to case some of those and definitely make this basket. Oh, this, I could do something like this too. I've got some egg crates. Mine are kind of a Coastal Cabana-ish kind of color though. Some very fun ideas on here, and we could even use the paper pumpkin add-on dies, whatever I did with those. Those are somewhere, to make some tulips. Those are daffodils. So that must be daffodils right there in that die set. So that's got a lot of stuff going on there. All right, Nature Walk. We have Nature Walk. So let's see, Nature Symphony. This is the one where I thought I had lost my die. So the prodigal die has returned. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I don't know if that goes like that or that. I'll probably put a magnet sheet in here so I can figure it out somehow. I don't know. All right. So I can put this away now. And then this also has some really cool embellishments. I thought I had those out. I did have them out. They're here somewhere. Well, we used them a couple of nights ago, so they're here somewhere. All right, so back to the book. We will probably be casing some of these cards because I think they're really pretty. And I suppose I should zoom out just, there we go. I did show off this paper recently because this is opened. We haven't used it, but I'll show you both sides just quickly. So these are all darker colors. I love that swirl. It kind of reminds me of a Van Gogh sort of thing. I love this scripted one. That is going to make some cool stuff. And this is almost like a painted and splattered sort of thing. Maybe like on knockdown plaster or something, maybe. More swirls. And I ended up getting 2 packs of this. Now, I think how that happened was I probably ordered the paper and then I decided to order the suite. Because I also have this paper, and this paper is almost like handmade paper because it's textured and it's heavier. It's like rough homemade paper. So it's almost like it's got fibers. I don't know if you can see that. Hopefully you can see that a little bit. But it's really quite pretty. And it comes in cream, tan, and gold. All right, so let's just lay these back out here. So here's the designer series paper, which is the Nature Symphony, Nature's Walk designer series paper. This is the Natural Hues specialty paper. I have these faux bronze pentagons. They're just 5-sided. These are actually, they're heavy. They are like metal. They don't feel like plastic. They're substantial. And those come 90 to a sheet. So there's 2 sizes, large and small. And then these dies are just, the dies are, I love these dies. So let me show you, we've made some projects with these, but these are this die. Cut these out. And then I just cut out some of the pieces for what we were making. But these are really pretty when they're cut out. And in fact, I'm going to put these in here so that I don't lose or ruin them. So they'll be there for my next adventure. All right, and then we've got this ribbon for this one as well. And this is Secret Sea, and this is a sheer ribbon. And is it 3/8? Yep, it's 3/8 inch. But it ties really nicely too. You can see how nice that tied. Very pretty. All right, so that is Nature Walk Suite. Now there's also a Nature Walk scrapbooking kit. We'll get to that as we get a little further into our catalog walkthrough here. So our pre-order for demonstrators started early in December. So I've placed a few orders, clearly. So here it gives kind of a summary of how this designer series paper came to be. And I'm pretty sure that in our virtual card retreat, we're going to be going over some of these techniques. And then here, give your projects a vintage, worn aesthetic by misting ink with your spritz and stampers. Or with your Stampin' Spritzers. Spritz and stampers. Your Stampin' Spritzers. So here we've added some re-inkers. If you do it with alcohol or water, either way it'll work. If you use alcohol, it'll dry a little bit faster. And we did some cards like this. I should bring these over or see if I can find it. I might have sent those off already. Oh no, here we go. Here was one of our versions of these cards. We did those one night. So this is basically what I call a 2-for-1 card. You put your die on, you cut out one, and then that void piece or the focal image, you leave the void behind. You put that on another card and you've got 2 cards for the effort of 1. So that was fun to make. Leave that over there. Oh, sweet bugs. This is growing on me. I wasn't really excited about it at first, and I have not gotten the bundle. I have not gotten the stamp set or the dies, but I do have the paper. And I do have the ladybugs and the clear dots like for rain. And I did not get that rickrack ribbon. So we might have to do that. All right, so let's slice this open because I have not opened this yet. So I know nobody else has seen it. And again, I like to open the left side of my packages because I'm left-handed. And when I open mine, I like it so that when I flip it, I can read what it is. So I will end up taking these out and then flipping these over so that when I put it back in, they'll be right side up, but when I flip it over, I can read. All right, so look at this praying mantis. Isn't she cute? She's got little hearts for her body parts. So I thought this paper was cute enough to get. I wasn't sure that I wanted all of the other things. But as I see some of these samples, they are really cute. So you've got the ant parade, you've got the caterpillar, the ladybug, the little bumblebee there, the lily of the valley. Well, even the mushrooms or the toadstools, whatever you call them, in your neck of the woods. Those are actually quite cute. So this might have to go on my shopping list as well. Now this catalog is good through May 4th. So we got lots of time to play with some of these things. So let's take a look at this paper. And then too, these ladybugs and dots are really cute. Look at those ladybugs. And they're very flat, so they will be very easy to mail. You can see they're very low profile, and I like it when we have low profile embellishments like that. It just makes it easier to, the more you layer, the less you have to worry about your embellishments then causing a problem. So look at this little ladybug reading a book. I think that's great. All right. So Little flowers. Very petite. Those would make, you know, a good coordinating or complementary patterns together. This will make a bunch of nice little tags, card fronts. We had some other, what was that other one we had? That had the turtle, Turtley Sweet, that had postcard ones like this with all the little scenes on there. One was a little picnic that you could add the elements to. So that's very cute. I like this foliage piece too. So you can cut these out. These are going to be 3 by 4 and 4 by 6. Very cute. And then here we've got just a abstract pretty much, but then these guys are dancing and musical instruments in here, roasting marshmallows. Oh, I don't know what those are supposed to be some kind of moth, I think. These are just super cute. I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can maybe see these a little bit better. And these we wouldn't even have to fussy cut if I got the dies, because I think some of the dies will probably end up cutting out some of the images. Maybe not on this sheet, but usually when you get a die set, it'll cut something out on a number of pages. So I'm going to leave that zoomed in a little bit. Oh, I like that quilted design. That's pretty cute. And then we've got some strawberries. Almost like a little acorn hat on here. Very cute. Another praying mantis image on there. These are really cute. Another quilted pattern. Raspberries or blackberries and strawberries. Bunch of little bumblebees in there. Adorable. All the mushrooms. I love this piece. All right, so that's got a lot of potential. I will probably have to add that bundle to my shopping cart one of these days. We'll see what we can make just without it as well, because there's a lot of possibilities here. Like even here, you don't need the dies necessarily. We could just fussy cut some of those images and put them on there, or you, depending on how much space there is, just use a punch. Lots of potential. So when you order a suite, if you want all of the things, you don't have to go in and enter each number individually. For the suite, you can use that number that's at the very top. So that makes it a little bit easier. It would probably help if you could see what I'm pointing at. You can use that number right at the top. And that will get you all of the things that's in the suite. Now, if you don't want everything like I did, I just ordered the paper and the embellishments, and I just went to, you know, here's a designer series paper, and then here's the epoxy shapes. So you can just order individual things as well. Cute idea here to cut those out. So that almost looks like it might be our, oh, what are these? Stylish Shapes dies, maybe? You could also do that with just a punch. If you do any canning, that would be perfect. And then this is just a punch label on there. Spread Joy. Spread Joy. What a cute idea. Canning stuff. And then we can easily make boxes out of this designer series paper and some cardstock too. Some silverware things. Have you ever used this wooden silverware? It's just flat. I have a hard time with that. So that's a cute suite. Now this I also didn't get the whole suite. let's see what I did get here. We got, oh, that was a different stamp set. So I did not get the Boardwalk Fun. I did not get the dies. I did not get the puffy, what are these called? The puffy stickers. I did not get those either. I just got this paper. So I also got some of the scrapbooking stuff. So I'm just going to put that under here because we'll get to that in a minute. Oh, what was the question, Juju? I forgot. No, you don't do canning. I don't remember what my question was. So this paper, we've made some cards with this. Let's see if I can find those. No, I had, here we go. Oh, the wooden spoons. They feel weird in my mouth. They have to have a shape and they have to be slippery. They can't just like stick to my tongue. So here's some things that we used this paper for. So I'm not going to go through and show each of these sheets of paper because we've already kind of had it out, but there's some fun designs on here. Lots of nice soft colors. This will make some cute little bags. Maybe we'll do those tomorrow. We'll see. In the near future, maybe we'll do some bags. I still did not decide what sentiments I wanted on here yet. And then I need to finish the inside. So this was all things that Juju made me fussy cut. All right, I'm actually going to put those cards right inside there. So these are very pretty. This is the one that I said would make a nice bag because you just cut it off of there and you could actually make 2 bags. I haven't done one of those for a while, but I can show you a real simple way to make like a 6-inch tall bag-ish. And then here it looks like on this designer series paper, I hadn't really thought of that. I don't think we did that before. If you cut out some of these elements, just do some blending, ink blending on there. Get that done. And here's my Bossy Bessie. All right, so this one, this is fun. The Sunshine and Tulips. Sunshine and Tulips. So this is one where these paper pumpkin dies would be fun. The tulips was fun, Juju? Or the fussy cutting? Yeah, probably the fussy cutting because you're probably laughing at me. So let's just show some of these samples of this one. We did quite a few of these. These were fun. This was fun to work with too. So we kind of did a little bit of casing here. So there's one of the cards that we made. And I think you can still, there we go. Here's one of the cards I cased out of here. Here's one that's very similar. So I have one piece of designer series paper. I think this might have been, no, it wasn't the Boca paper. It's some other paper that might be retired now. Both, okay. And then I just used one of the tulip cutouts from this one and put it there to just kind of give it a pop of something. And here we made a shaker card. So many possibilities with this one. And this one, we used one of these sheets as a stencil or a mask. No, we didn't. We stamped this one on because there's stamps with this one. That's what we did. Although using it for a mask would be pretty good too. And then this one we did paper piecing on. Rosa, you like to fussy cut? You're an odd woman. I'm kidding. I have some friends that love to fussy cut because they say it's relaxing. Me, I think I think too much about it and I make it more work than it has to be. So Sunshine and Tulips, this was really fun to work with. If friends were flowers, I'd pick you. Good days ahead. Thanks for your thoughtfulness. Thinking of you. Hello. Sending a garden of love. And then this is a really nice label here too. But then you've got these dies that cut out these pieces, and that's where the one that we did paper piecing on, where did it go? Where did I set it? I'm probably just looking right at it. Well, kind of here. We did some paper piecing here with that one. Where did I do all the text? Oh, here. So here we did all of these inside pieces and just glued them in there. So this was a little more putsy. I think this might have been the first one we did. Juju, was this the first one I did? I think it was the first one I laid out, but maybe not the one I glued together. But this one was really easy because I just cut like 1-inch strips of designer series paper and laid it behind there. And then put an extra mat on there just to kind of set it off. So this is a really fun bundle. I'm starting to run out of space here. And then this has been a hoot to play with. And I'm not going to get to it tonight because it's getting kind of late already. Thanks for hanging out with me. But this one was really fun. There's a punch to do our little woolly friends. This stamp set, you've got the sheep that's just standing up. You've got the one that's kicking out her heels. And I'll show you some samples in a minute of what we did. But this is if you want to use the stamp to color in the body and the tuft of hair on here, or the tuft of wool. All right. So let's pull out those little samples. So we kind of did this, kind of cased this one a little bit. This is those memory and more cards that I used. Is that what they were, the memory more cards? Or the mix and match? I think they were the memory more cards. But I used this from the butterflies and just tore off the bottom. There's an embossing folder here that I put the texture on. We embossed the words on here. Oh, thanks for the hearts, you guys. And then our little sheep that we put on a wobble. I love those. They're so fun. So we did wobbles. So if you've never used wobbles before, this is what I use. I get the mini ones. I'm not sure how much bigger. I'm not sure how much bigger the big ones are, but I got the mini ones because they're plenty big. And then I ended up trimming it just a little bit so it wouldn't show behind our little sheep's head. Isn't that adorable? I love that. All right, so let's look at this one. This was the first one I think we ended up making, and we put her whole body on a wobble. But we used the stamp to color in the bodies. I just used my alcohol blends to color in the tuft of wool on the head, but then we used the body to create that background on here. So we used this stamp here, or maybe it's easier, we use this stamp here to just make our own DSP for the background. We use the grass down here at the bottom, the tulips, and I just use my alcohol blends. No, I use the stamp because there's stamps here too. So this stamp is all on one, this is all on one. So you can stamp all three of them in a row together. So that one was pretty fun too. And then we just did some paper tearing there and roughed it up. And of course the butterflies and those embellishments, that these ones here worked really well. The pearlized faceted circles worked really well for that. And then our favorite one, we got our wild child. We used googly eyes on her. So when you shake her head, her eyes make noise. So she's kicking up her feet and she's got those wild eyes. I thought that was hilarious. All right, so that is a really fun set. So if you have anybody where you can just make some fun, crazy cards, whether it's for kids or adults, I know plenty of adults I could send this card to and we would have a good laugh out of it. All right. And even some of this bubble bath ribbon would make a fun little accent on there. You know, you could wrap it around and put a bow on there. Lots of things, lots of things. Yeah, Juju wasn't Those were just such fun cards. All right, let's move this out of the way. Now, I forgot when we were looking at this paper. Oh, we didn't get to that in the catalog yet. I get ahead of myself. We'll just wait. All right, here's another one. More bundles. So now we're into the section that we're just looking at bundles. So we went past, this is where the sweets ended. And you can see the color coding up here. So that was the sweets, and now we're going to just the bundles. So we've got the Sunshine and Tulips, we've got the Woolly Friends, Hope, Love, and Joy. So I have not gotten this one, so I cannot show you this one any closer. But there are some dies that have some nice elements for flowers and leaves, and like what I call the Cancer ribbon here is there. And this is a $1 Million Achiever stamp set. So when Stampin' Up! Has demonstrators that sell $1 million in their career, they get to help design. They get to collaborate on a stamp set. So this one is inspired by Evie de Piazza. Piazza? I'm not sure how I don't know who she is, but she's the one that was able to collaborate on that one. So I like to try to get some of these, and I have a whole collection of $1 million ones. Not that I'll ever make my million or sell my million and get to collaborate on a set, but at least I'll have some inspiration if I do, right? Now, this Gears and Textures, I did not get this either, but I have seen some really cute cards. Like, I really like this one. And I love that light bulb. Don't ask me why. Just that really, like, retro Thomas Edison kind of light bulb on there. I love that. And even though this is supposed to probably be like tire tracks, I think that would be suitable for military. Because that's what I see when I see that. I see, you know, law enforcement and military. Crazy. So I don't have this bundle either. But this has got a real grunge vibe. And that looks like the paper, that Nature's Walk paper to me. You know, kind of like they use some of this. So that, yeah, Nature Walk. So I think some of that came from this paper. And then this looks like it's embossed with copper using that stamp. So many good ideas you can get from the catalog. All right, and then we've got Joyful Squares. That kind of makes like a little clip, binder clip sort of thing. Photo corners. Kind of that retro photo corner thing. I do not have that. Perfectly Paired. The Square Snippets Designer Series paper. I did not get that Designer Series paper. I completely missed that Designer Series paper. That's kind of fun. Oh, I might have to fold that page. I might miss that again. I don't want to miss that again. That looks really fun because it's almost like quilted squares on there. So there clearly would be 3 by 3. So that would be great for making a sampler. How fun is that? And I like some of those designs too. And then the backs are just kind of subtle texture designs. So there's 12 sheets. You get 4 of each. So sometimes we get 2 of each. And then we get 6 designs. This one we get 3 designs and you get 4 of each. So 4, 8, 12. That way if you're like mass producing anything, you have more sheets. Greenery Lane. Now this is a washi tape that also has dies. Now we had a similar one not too long ago. That's got all kinds of embossing powder on it. So this is the Extraordinary Flora. I don't know that this is available anymore, but this came as a single die that aligned with the washi tape. And you would put the washi tape on whatever color cardstock you wanted, whether it was white or like I used a light pink, I used fresh freesia, and it kind of highlighted the background of the washi tape. And then you could basically make your own ephemera pieces or your own, you know, just die cut elements. I also used it as a stencil to do some ink blending. But I did not get this set specifically because I have several sets very similar to this. Not even from the most real recent past, but in the not too distant past, you know, the last few years. Plus I have that other set where I was missing one of my dies. So I did not get this one because I have something very similar. So I personally, I would rather get something that's not so similar to something that's new. This washi tape was pretty cool though. And I just discovered where those little pentagon pieces were. All right, so I think this is gorgeous. And the dies line up really well. Now, I think the last set, that Extraordinary Flora, had that single die. Well, this one has individual dies. I'm not sure which I would like better. Personally, I almost think I would like the single die so it's cutting out that whole swath at once. I suppose if you don't want all of them, it doesn't make sense to have all of them. So you could cut out just a few. But personally for me, I think I would want that single sheet. I don't know. I don't know. All right, so here is scrapbooking from scratch. All right, so this is why I got some of that designer series paper. And then, did I get Love Story? I think I might have, oh, I don't know if I ordered that or not. I lose track. But I've got a lot of these two-tone cardstocks already. And this is a sticker sheet that you can get with your designer series paper. Fun little layout there. For me, I would probably spread some of these elements out a little bit more so I could get more pictures on there though. But that's just me. But again, this coordinates with our, where'd they go? I had them out here. The mini alphabet dies, wherever I put those. Here, yeah. So yeah, the mini alphabet dies. So you can see that font coordinates with this. So these will not cut out those letters in all likelihood because these letters are probably bigger. But if you wanted to make some things, you know, very similar, at least you know that you've got a coordinating die set. We're getting there. All right, so exploring nature. This again is a scrapbooking from scratch. Now this is the Nature Walk paper, and I showed you that I had 2 of them, but I also, the reason why I have 2 of them is because I ordered it out of here so that it came with the sticker sheet, because I want to make that scrapbooking where I said it kind of looked like Alaska to me. So these are all stickers. All right. Take the road less traveled, chasing adventure, walking through nature, beautiful day. These are just really fun. Now this is just a single sheet of stickers. So it's not like you get pages and pages of stickers. But they're heavy. They're not just like thin washi tape. All right, so these are, you can see they've got some substance to them. So I'm looking forward to getting my Alaska pages ready. Maybe I'll have them prepped before we go on our trip. We'll see. That would be ideal, but I'm not holding my breath. And then I did not get this, but I'm thinking I might need to because I'm really liking some of the words on here. Look at that. Stay wild and free. Not lost, just exploring. Nature is my happy place. I think I would just want my happy place, and I could use that with Hobby Haven, which is all the crafting things. Hello Sunshine, I love that. On this day, so if you're showing pictures of something. It's a great big world out there. I really like that stamp set. So I think I'm going to have to flip that too because I might forget about it. I might forget about it. All right, let's back this up again. Maybe. There we go. All right, so again, here's our beach time. Now, this one, I did get the stamp for when we do some of our other trips and when we've got past trips where we've had some summer sand fun. I thought this would be great for memory keeping and maybe for cards. But this paper I already kind of showed you. Here again is a sticker sheet. Now I've not opened this one either, so let's go ahead and slice this open. And again, this is a sticker sheet, so they're going to be, it's thicker. And you just get one. But again, these are heavy, heavy pieces, all right? Lots of different words on here. So let's go to the beach, vibes, sunshine and smiles, time for fun, surf, shell, sand, sun kiss, let's play, fun in the sun, sand and sun, lots of things. And then this is a strip that says ticket, fun in the sun. This is a strip of palm trees. And then we've got a strip of just the bright colors. Popsicles, you could actually cut off that stick and kind of make it into a surfboard that's sticking out of some sand. I think I'm going to have fun with this. And that's the paper that it kind of coordinates with. So we'll keep those together. Let's see what's next. We're getting there. We're almost to the back. So here is Mixed Up Patterns. And this is all in a row embossing folder. I did not get this. I think I need to get this too. It's almost like a quilting embossing folder. And I missed that. I saw somebody who made a project with that too. Now, I don't know if you can see it very well. Maybe if I zoom first. But if you take a look at this, you can see where some of this is distressed. Do you know why that is? This is using two-tone cardstock. Because the two-tone cardstock has a white core. So when you put it through the embossing folder and those fibers break, you get... Now, another way to do that is once you've embossed, if you don't see that white core, you can take sandpaper and lightly sand it, or take like your little emery board or something and just lightly go over the parts that you want more distressed. So I think I have to order that. And these, I'm curious, these seem like they might be flat dots, and I like that because Night of Navy is not a color that we get real often in embellishments. So that's Night of Navy, Garden Green, Petunia Pop, and Pretty in Pink. We don't get them in Garden Green very often either. So that's something I need to maybe look at. And what was this? Splash of Sparkles. Did we see that yet? No, I might have missed that going through the catalog. I don't know. So this Mixed Up Patterns. We have used this, and I must have forgot that I had it because I have two. But this has some nice, subtle, like almost wallpaper prints on it. Oh, I should believe, well, I'll just leave it for right now. And this is like a bubble bath with just like a little, like a diamond print on it. You might not be able to see that very well. Yeah, I don't think you can see that. It's very subtle. And Old Olive on here. I think that's Old Olive. This is just some pink polka dots. Some little zigzag with some wood grain. I think this would look nice with some color added to it. crumb cake or pecan pie or something. Some herringbone. I used to have a suit when I worked for the court system. I used to have a suit like that. Not quite as dark gray. Some little swirly things. This is the striped paper that we used for that sheep card with our woolly friends. Those light flowers. So I think very fun designer series paper. And now we're past the bundles, scrapbooking from scratch, and now we're looking at just like some stamp sets. So let's look back at that table of contents and see where we're at as far as categories. So 22 to 69 is creativity your way. So I guess we're still in the scrapbooking from scratch, but I'm seeing this as more of card stuff, not scrapbooking stuff. So this addressed to you is kind of for doing your envelopes, all right? So this makes a nice little accent for on your envelope where you can put the address. This would make a nice little accent for an envelope. But then it also, like if we had it this way like they do here, this floral piece could go there. Snowflakes piece could go there. Trees could go there. So that's why that's open on there. So you can add those little elements and even the balloons. So I don't like naked envelopes, and this will be a good way for me to highlight some of my envelopes. Now this also is a $1 Million Achiever stamp set. So that's where you see this little emblem. It's also on the stamp set itself. And then it tells us who was inspired, or who was a $1 Million Achiever that was able to collaborate. This one happens to be Sonia Schulte. It is. Oh, Suzanne, right? Suzanne. I'm trying to think where you're from. Tennessee? No. I'm trying not to look at my note. But anyway, yes, this is very simple, but I think not Tennessee. I don't think it's Kentucky. It starts with an A. Arkansas, that's right. Not Arkansas, Arkansas. Awesome. Sorry. At least I remembered Suzanne. Welcome. So yeah, I think even though this is designed maybe to be for envelopes, if you look at some of the stuff, like you could do some masking here and look at how they did that whole bunch of balloons. All right. So you could easily make some fun cards with these. And not just envelopes. I mean, look at how they did the hello there on a card. It takes me a couple of times, Suzanne, but once I see the name, and you know, well, I told you before though, I wrote it down. That first night I wrote it down so that I can try to remember, and then I might have to refer to my notes. But like when I was in school, I would take copious notes, and even, you know, college, I would take copious notes, and then I would never look at them again. But for me, the act of writing it down helps imprint it in my brain. So I think I'm getting older though, so that's why I had to look at the note a couple of times. But I did not peek today. I did remember you, so awesome. And that's like Rosa too. I remembered her once I looked. I think it was a little thumbnail. It's like, no, I'm pretty sure Rosa's been here before. So I'm glad you pop back from time to time. I appreciate that. So I think this one will make some fun cards too. So we'll have to play with that. In fact, I don't know. We'll figure something out. We got lots of stuff to play with. And even though I want to order more, I need to just not order. I did place my order this morning, so we'll see. I don't remember what things I've got coming. I'll have to look at my order. It was early. Well, it's probably been about 24 hours now. But bonus days, every $50 orders, you get a $5 coupon to redeem in February. There's no limit on them. So as many increments of 50 as you order, you get a $5 coupon by email for each of those. And what else is going on? Bonus days, Stampin' Rewards, you get the new catalog. See, out of sight, out of mind. I did all kinds of announcements earlier. The new catalog, bonus days, new kits, product of the month. That's it. Product of the month. Don't forget. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Juju. I wasn't looking. I was looking through my pile of stuff. Yes, I did order the product of the month. Were you on here when I said what it was? It's a stamp set. Well, I think this helps me keep my memory exercised. Coming on and trying to, look at this and craft and see the names pop up and try to keep up with the conversation. And then when I scroll the wrong way and then the conversation doesn't advance, and everybody laughs at me because I'm like, oh, where is everybody? Nobody's saying anything. And then they're laughing at me and I miss it. So I like to laugh at me too. Oh, but I don't think that's happened since either. Hello, Robert. Welcome. All right, so I think this one is pretty cool too. This Aspen Grove. To me, it looks more like birch trees. Oh, did you see the post I did the other night? That I think it was just last night, because I was out of town and I showed a couple of pictures of my nephew doing some wood turning. Where did I put those? They might be upstairs. I'm not going to take the time to get them. I'm going to, when I come back later for my next live, I'll bring those with and I'll show you the real live ones that he turned for us. They're gorgeous. One of them has a base that's birch. So beautiful work. And I might actually have a lathe, because my dad used to build cabinets and a lot of his machinery is here. I'm not sure if he still has a lathe. I'm going to have to go check out the equipment. So let's take a look here. We have got the next stamp set. Well, I didn't talk too much about this one, but this is just imagery. All right. So you would mix this with whatever sentiments strike your fancy. Yeah, the one who's doing the wood turning on the lathe, he's the one whose mother passed away this weekend. That's why I was gone. And he has found that doing the woodworking has been very therapeutic, and it's nice when you can have something that can divert your attention and be productive and that sort of thing. So it's been a good stress reliever. So, and the work is beautiful. He's been doing bowls and just some gorgeous, gorgeous stuff. So anyway, prayers and promises. I do not have this one yet. A lot of times I find when I've got some of these sets that have long sentiments that I don't end up using the long sentiments so much, because they might be specific to one or two cards that I'm going to make, or that they use such a variety of fonts that it doesn't work for me. So this one does have some nice ones, like as you grieve, may your memories comfort you, your faith strengthen you, and may hope heal your heart. I mean, that's really nice. Praying that the Lord's promises will bring you hope and comfort in the days ahead. That's nice. So sorry for your loss. Keeping you in my thoughts, holding you in my heart, remembering you in my prayers. I mean, these are very nice sentiments. I do like those. I'm not sure if I'll get that though, because I do have some other sets that have similar sentiments, and hopefully I don't have to use any again in the near future. Here's another embossing folder that's very easy to miss. Sometimes these embossing folders, when they're not part of a set, although I did miss those gems. What gems are those? I'll have to try to track those down. I don't know that I have those. They look kind of pearly. Very interesting. I'll have to track down those gems. So anyway, so sometimes we can miss designer series paper, embossing folders. This one is pretty cool. To me on here, it doesn't really accentuate what the pattern is, what the design is. So if you look here, it's supposed to be like stones with some vines on it. But when you look here, it looks even more cool. I think that looks even more cool. So it doesn't necessarily, it's supposed to be like a stone wall with vines growing on it, I think. So it would depend on what color you use as to what it's going to look like, I think. But I liked the leaves. They almost look like grape leaves to me. So I don't know. But I like texture. So this is called the Stone and Vine 3D embossing folder. And again, when they're 3D embossing folders, that's when you're going to use your base plate and plate number 4. So set that off to the side. We're almost to the end of the catalog. I'm going to have to find those embellishments. And now we're to the back. All right, so product of the month. Let's pull out. Here is product of the month every month. So starting in December, if you make a qualifying purchase in the United States of $75 before tax and shipping, you have the option of adding a product of the month that's specific to that month. You can only get one, but you can add it to your cart for only $5. So for January now, it's this fabulous Sayings stamp set. And I think these sentiments are going to be quite versatile and they will last a long time. And I love that scripted font. I don't know why, but I really like that font. So that's this month's product of the month. And that started the 6th, so Tuesday, so yesterday. And it will stay available as long as they have a supply. Once it's gone, they won't make any more. All right, so there's a limited amount. $5 is a pretty good deal, I think, for a stamp set. It's got 10 stamps in it. So if we look at some of these other stamp sets, like this has 12 stamps in it, it's 20 bucks. And this one with 10 stamps in it, you can pick up for $5. So that's a really good deal. So if you're interested in those, product of the month might be something to try. Is there a coordinating die set? There is not. So any of those, Suzanne, that you wanted to go here, these are all fussy cut. So when I get my stamp set, because I did order it, I placed my order, I waited and placed my order so that I would qualify. I suppose we could case this card, and Juju would love it if I fussy cut. Of course, you would like it too if you fussy cut. That's right up your alley, huh? And I should probably add that to my note. Oh, no, Rosa likes to fussy cut. Either way, fussy cutting is not my forte. I do it when I'm forced. All right, so make sure that when you're placing orders that you opt in for Stampin' Rewards. All right, so Stampin' Rewards, any purchase of $20 or more, you get 10% back to use on future purchases. And you can bank those for up to a year. So they are good until the last day of the month, a year out from the month that you ordered them or earned them. So let's say you place an order now in January. You earn Stampin' Rewards. You placed an order on January 1st. Your Stampin' Rewards from that $20 or more purchase will not expire until January 31st of 2027. Okay. Oh, Suzanne, I'm glad I have a kindred spirit. Yeah, fussy cut is not my forte. So Stampin' Rewards are pretty cool. Now, I can gift Stampin' Rewards to people. Oh, let me zoom this back where it belongs. As a demonstrator, I am allowed to gift Stampin' Rewards. When I gift them to somebody, they are only good for 90 days. All right. When you earn Stampin' Rewards on your own, they're good for 12 months plus however many days to the end of the month past when you earned them. Okay. So just make sure that you have a customer account. If you check out as a guest, you don't get them. You have to have an account because they have to tie it to you, because there has to be a way to track it onto your account for you to save them. Does that make sense? Because you can't use Stampin' Rewards on your current purchase. It's kind of like Kohl's Cash. You go into the store, you spend so much, they give you Kohl's Cash, come back in 2.5 days from now and you have 23 hours to spend them. That's why I don't shop much at Kohl's anymore, because I lost so many Kohl's Cash dollars. So then at the end, we have our index and an offer to join. Now, several of the folks on here have joined my team. Several are demonstrators on their own through other teams. It's never a bad time to join. All right. So if you're not getting a discount on all of your stuff, you might want to join. If you're going to place an order that's going to be like $99 anyway, you may as well join, because then you can get $126 worth of product and only spend $99 and get free shipping. So there's that. If you don't have a paper catalog and don't have a demonstrator, let me know. I would be happy to send you a catalog. So send me a private message. You should be able to message me through here, but my email address is on my storefront as well. Or you should be able to just send me a message here, a private message through here. Also on my Facebook page, you can send me private messages. But the index then has embellishments, all of the paper accents. So this is going to be your ephemera packs, mix and match packs. All right. Ribbons and trims are in here. Scrapbooking kits, there's 3 of them in this catalog, and then stamp sets, and then we've got tools. Dies are listed as tools. All right. Embossing folders are under the tools. Punches are under the tools. All right. And paper pumpkin. If you don't get paper pumpkin, you might want to think about getting paper pumpkin too, because I finally got my December one. So here's what happened. Stampin' Up shipped out my paper pumpkin on December 11th or 12th, because the subscription period ends on the 10th of the month. They shipped them out. After about a week, I start watching the tracking, so I know when they're going to come. They're almost always here, actually. For me, they come from Utah. I'm in Wisconsin. They're usually here by the 18th, 19th, 20th of the month. And I'm thinking, okay, Christmas, still hadn't gotten it. Holidays, I get it. They got lots of extra stuff, right? New Year's. I'm thinking, well, if it's not here by the end of December, there's something going on. So I contacted demonstrator support and let them know it hadn't come yet. They shipped me out 2 new ones. So the other 2 that are out there somewhere may eventually come to me. And when they do, if they do get to me, I'll contact Stampin' Up to see what they want me to do with them. Usually, they're very fair with everything. They may tell me to pass them along to somebody who's not a Paper Pumpkin subscriber. They may have me return them. Hard to say. But Stampin' Up's usually really good about fixing mistakes. So let's take a look quick at this set. So Paper Pumpkin kit will come with the stamps that you need. It'll come with an ink block. If you're a brand new subscriber, or a Stampin' Spot, sorry. If you're a new subscriber, it's going to come with a block. So it's going to look like this with your first kit. Now, it also tells you to keep that block because you'll need it for future kits if you don't have other blocks. All right. I personally like to use my full-size blocks because they're textured, they're grooved, and they're thicker. And it's just easier for me to hold on to. All right. So we will take a look and see all of the goodies that are in this package. So I will probably be doing some things with my paper pumpkin since I finally have it, and include those on my upcoming lives. Now, a lot of these can be transitioned into other things, like Juju, I think, put them into some of her junk journaling things. Juju is on my team, but she also has her junk journaling on YouTube, Craftin on the Back 40. Yes, so there is, this is a really cute stamp set. So what I usually do is I just cut off the piece that I don't want to use. Some people save it and they will put their stamps inside and kind of make a pocket out of it. So I don't know if they put like tape on the outside. But I haven't done that yet. Maybe I will someday. I don't know. So I usually just cut that off. But then this tells you what stamps you're missing, right? All right. You get your adhesive. You get embellishments. You get dimensionals if you need them. This one does 9 cards. So it's also going to have 9 envelopes, and those coordinate with the cards. Sometimes you'll have different envelopes. Sometimes they're the same. Sometimes the design will be on the front. Sometimes it'll be on the envelope flap. And then we get all kinds of elements. So we've got these pieces here to make the framing. We've got pieces here to make this outlining. You might not be able to see that very good, but there's like a scalloped outlining here with the foliage. All right. That's what goes here. So this will come here and go vertically. All right. This image here will go there. And these have metallic elements to them. All right. So there's 3 sheets of these for this particular kit. This piece here is going to become that centerpiece there. And then we get our card bases. Sometimes they go all the way across. Sometimes it's only the front. But a lot of times what I like to do is cut my card bases in half and then double the amount of card fronts I can get, and then I'll just use a different piece of cardstock. So there are also some vellum elements to this. So we've got vellum for here. We've got this piece of vellum goes across there, and then this piece of vellum goes behind that foliage piece. There's more card bases. There are these ephemera pieces. So we've got ephemera pieces for here. So rather than having to die cut anything, it's all ready to go for you. All right. So we've got some little star or flower pieces. I guess those are supposed to be flower pieces. The foliage pieces. More label pieces for our sentiments, and then the last of the card bases. All right, so that's all part of the kit. And then don't throw away, oh, and this is for this piece here, so you've got 3 of those as well. Don't throw away your package, because this piece of chipboard can be used for many things. You can use it to stamp on. You can use to make small journals, 3D items, or you can recycle it. But I'm collecting a bunch. One of these days, I'll get them in the mail. Juju. But then also, these are your instructions. All right. So when you open this up, so you open it up here. Your first one just shows you each of the 3 projects and the elements that you need for each one. All right. And then as you start going through, it'll show you if you need to stamp, if you need to put tear and tape, if you need to put dimensionals. There's little symbols for the dimensionals. Sometimes there's glue dots. And then it shows you too that you need your little embellishments and how to put it all together. And that you get for all 3 of the projects. There's also usually a ruler on here. So if there's any ribbon or anything, you have a ruler to cut your ribbon. Now, there's no ribbon on this one, so I'm not certain why we would need the ruler, but it's probably just in their template for the instructions. Okay. The other thing we get for this, yes, junk journal covers and page finders. Perfect. The other thing that we get with this is a QR code. So if you want to see this kit put together, it's not going to be like a class where it says, oh, do this, do that, do this. It'll probably be like a high speed, here, scan it with your phone camera, put it together sort of thing. And then this also, because it was for December, shows this extra die set that would coordinate, so you can see these flowers here would coordinate with this paper pumpkin kit. All right, so you can see the flowers on there. So I think that's it for the paper pumpkin kit. So if I have new subscribers this month, it is a good value. So Rosa, you must be a subscriber. The price of these, I get the month to month, so mine just comes automatically. There are also prepaid subscriptions, which if you want to buy the prepaid 3, 6, 12-month subscriptions, you can earn bonus dollars on those. Just saying. What else was I going to say? The month-to-month one includes the shipping. The other ones with the prepaid subscriptions, I think they add the shipping on separately. All right, just something to keep in mind. All right, so that's front to back for our catalog. Now, there are some other things. I don't remember if this was in the catalog. Splash of Sparkles. This might be an online exclusive. I don't remember. We looked at it before, but this has a lot of, you've had it in the past. Yeah, it is a good value. And, you know, some of these kits, from even just a few years ago, I think the kits have gotten so much nicer. But this paper is fun. It's got all kinds of metallic images on it and then the matte images on the back. This would be fun to just stamp some images in those blocks too, or to create our own blocks and copy that pattern. So this is some fun paper. And then I have some other things that must be maybe some online exclusives, or I just missed them in the catalog. I don't know. So this is the new paper pumpkin die set. And what I was saying is, if I have new paper pumpkin subscribers in January, I'll have to decide. Maybe it'll go a little bit longer. We'll see. I'll figure out an end date, but at least through January, I will put your name into my wheel of names to give away a die set. So that'll be for new paper pumpkin subscribers with me only. I thought I could use our gingerbread man with that beach stuff and make him look like he was sunburned. That's why that's here. These are some new dots. These are Moody Palette glossy dots. These are flat dots, white, balmy blue, olive, and Secret Sea. And Wicked Adventures. Well, look at that. You know how this happens? When I look through the catalog online and I see, oh, that's really cool. And then if my order hasn't come yet and I'm looking at the catalog online again, oh, I like that. And I got it a second time. So this is a stamp set. Since I have an extra, this may be a giveaway item as well, and I'll have to figure out what I want that incentive to be. All right, here is Covered in Flowers Accents. This is 1 page of heavy paper. These are ephemera pieces that you can use ink blending on, alcohol blends. Yeah, Suzanne, has that ever happened to you? Anybody else? You see something you like and you order it 2 or 3 times? Yeah. That has happened to me. So these are pretty cool. These are a heavy paper, but these will make some nice elements on cards. I have not used any of them yet, so we'll see. Here's that lovely stripes embossing folder that I told you about. Once or 30 times. Perfect. I'm not alone. Alrighty. So this is, it puts stripes on there and it puts dots on there and it makes a nice little rippled effect. Almost corrugated, but not super corrugated, if that makes any sense. It's not like cardboard, but it does make it rippled. Yes, Retro Queen Bee Art also has her her channel up, and she does junk journaling. You do some other stuff too, though. You did that ringed art where you had different things on a ring and interesting stuff that I'm close to clueless as to how to create. Very artistic. All right. This stamp set, these that I have left here are probably online exclusives. So this Fragrant Layers made this beautiful card. And these flowers here are actually 3 layers. This die creates a frame. It doesn't actually cut out a square or rectangle. So those were pretty fun. This round of hellos. We did a couple of cards with those. Stamps. And we used some of the new paper. Nice. We love to share what we do, right? Where was I? I was just thinking, Juju, don't ever fast forward her speed unless you have a southern accent. And Vicky just has this calm way about her channel. And me, sometimes I feel like I'm talking a mile a minute, and I have too many things that I might lose in my head if I don't talk them out right away. So anyway, this was out of the round of hellos. We used Spotlight on Nature dies for this. We did a little bit of weaving. That was a little bit of a challenge. Yeah, well, Sala, who is from Finland, likes to watch Juju and put it at higher speed so that she can improve her English, which I thought was an amazing technique. All right, so that's from the new catalog, or I think an online exclusive, Friendly Foliage. Do I have any of those left? We did some of those too, and I think I have probably given those away already. We'll do more with this. But these are fun too, because this can be a very intricate little stamp. You can stamp it on the design. The design can cut out. It makes a really nice, yes, you do have to listen fast. Or just start listening and let it kind of wash over you. At first, I had a hard time with a few words, like jail. I used to work for the criminal court system, so I'm thinking jail. Well, she was talking about gel prints, or her gel plate, jelly, jail. Yeah. I'm getting it better now. I usually understand all of her words. With this paper here must be an online exclusive. So we made a few cards with this as well. This was one of the early ones. That's why I'm thinking it was online exclusive. I'm thinking, but I'm not positive. I might have just missed it in the catalog. I don't remember. All right. So here are some of the cards that we made using paper from here. You're the final boss in passing English. That's exactly it. If you can understand Juju, we got it, right? All right, so this one we did on some Fluid 100 watercolor paint or paper, and we were copying this. it's a little looser of a heart, but I think it turned out all right. All right, and this I think was actually supposed to be like a tunnel card, but we made it two-sided visibility of that designer series paper. This one I still think is my favorite with that paper. It used some gold sequins and it used some of the new loose Valentine's assortment. We had some of that in here too. I just took out manually, I took out all the little envelopes. So the little brown envelopes here, I removed all of those because I didn't want them in that card. All right, so that's that one. And then this was just layering some paper. Pretty simple. And again, this one was just using elements from here. Like there's another sheet that's got some of these squares on it. Here. We did a little ink blending around there. We put it on a piece of gorgeous grape. And then this designer series paper, I ran through that hearts embossing folder and gave it a little bit more texture. So many ideas out there. So many things we can do. All right, I think that's all I have for tonight. We've been going for, whoa, over 2.5 hours. So my accumulation container is empty. All right, this is my Stampin' Up! Accumulation container. So this is where I've been compiling all of my new things. So now I need to start organizing my new things, labeling them so I know if they're from the mini catalog, if they're from online exclusives. I have some of my little labels here. I like to kind of keep track, and I lose track. So Suzanne, your sister-in-laws are in Louisiana. That's like people from Canada. A lot of times will sound very similar to me as people in northern Wisconsin and the UP, the Upper Peninsula of Michigan. What are some of the words? About. They say about different. I can't copy it, but there are certain words. So, all right, that is all of the new stuff I have. We'll see how quickly my other new things come, and then I'll share those too and see what inspires you. And when I post these things, or when I create these things, I do try to put them on my Facebook page. I admit I do get behind with posting them on there, but when you see posts there, feel free to add pictures of things that you've created as well. Thank you for all the hearts, you guys. That's sweet. I love it. Feel free to add comments with your pictures as well, because I love to see what you folks are making too. It gives us all ideas, and that's what we're all here for, is to just share our love for creativity and sharing our craft, because we all, I think, interpret these paper crafts differently. So until next time, that's all I've got, and my throat is really dry, and I've been trying to do my water, so I'm going to drink a bunch, and then I think I'm going to head to bed. It's 2:34 here, and I'll be back in, I don't know, maybe like 22 hours-ish, and we'll see what we can make. I really appreciate all of you coming in. Vicki, Rosa, Juju, Yuta was here, Suzanne, Robert was here. I don't know who else. I'm at a loss as to who else was here, but I appreciate everybody hanging out with me. I hope you enjoyed this stuff, even though we didn't create anything tonight. I have a couple of ideas for next time. I'm just going to have to decide which one I like the best, because I've got another Woolly Friends Wild idea, so we'll see how that goes. But enjoy your evening, everybody. Any of those of you that are in the South Pacific or over across the pond, enjoy the rest of your evening, because it's already late by you. And until then, until next time, happy crafting. Good night, Vicki. Good night, Rosa. Good night, Juju. Suzanne. Yeah, the truck and the tree. I need to get on that, don't I? Well, you didn't show me yours either, so I want to make sure we're not on the same wavelength and creating the same kind of card. Thank you all for the hearts. I love it. And hopefully you've thought a lot of these things were really fun. So I've been having fun with the things that we've gotten. So thanks for hanging out with me.